Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is part 2 of our review of Perfect Keto products. Now, as I disclosed in part 1, all of this was sent to me for free from Perfect Keto, and I am a Perfect Keto affiliate partner, which means down in the description below, you'll be able to find a link with a discount code for any Perfect Keto product. That said, no other promotional considerations have been paid to me, and you are going to get my honest opinion on all of this stuff. The first product that we're going to review is the Perfect Keto Nootropic. And the timing is kind of good on this actually because I'm feeling kind of dull and dim-witted today. So let's see if this gives me any sort of a mental boost. In terms of macros, this has 70 calories, 3.5 grams of total fat, all of it is saturated, 1 gram of total carbohydrates, less than 1 gram dietary fiber, 5 grams of protein. And as we did in the video part 1, we're going to try just mixing this stuff straight up with water and a spoon. All right, the smell is kind of chocolatey. It says you're supposed to start with a half scoop to assess your tolerance, but what the heck? Let's throw caution to the wind. Full scoop. This is a lot like trying to mix chocolate powder with water. I'm thinking this is probably going to be more of a shaker bottle type of a powder. All right, it looks like I'm just going to have to live with some powder bubbles here. Here we go. I think it has a little bit more flavor than the chocolate collagen that I tried in the first video. I don't know. I'm not in love with the flavor on this. I think perhaps if it were mixed with something else, maybe put into some coffee, it'd be fine. Probably going to say straight up in water, not a great choice for this. There's something almost a little bit plasticky about the taste. But I guess for a nootropic, I'm going to be more concerned about how I feel in an hour or, whenever this kicks in. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but we got a fair amount of sludge down at the bottom. I would definitely say mixer bottle or blender or dissolved in coffee if you're going to have some of this. Next, we're going to try out 2 flavors of the Perfect Keto base. Now, this is just exogenous ketones that you can dissolve in water. We've got chocolate and peach. Now, my thoughts personally on exogenous ketones is I'm not sure why I need them. I've been out of ketosis 3 times this year. Each of those times was by choice, and each of those times I was back into a state of ketosis within about 3 days. And probably I could have accelerated that through the use of exogenous ketones, but me personally, I don't know that it's necessarily the right product for me. I can tell you that this morning my blood ketones were at 1.4. We will check them tomorrow morning and tack that on to the end of this video to see what kind of a difference these 2 made. But for now, we're just going to try out the flavor and mixability. I have a feeling this is going to mix well just because I'm watching it drop out of suspension already. So that pretty much instantly mixed with a spoon. I like that from a convenience factor. Now the taste. That is an unusual flavor, and I'm trying to decide if I like it or not. It's not an enormously sweet chocolate. In fact, there's almost like a hint of bitter in there and something that tastes almost a little bit like cherry to me. So it's almost like a bittersweet chocolate covered cherry, but not a strong cherry. So I can't say that I love the flavor on this either, but we'll see what the impact is on my ketones. Let me get a fresh glass and we'll try out the peach. What are you doing? You see this? Look at this. You want some ketones? Again, this looks like it's going to mix very well. All the powder fell right out of suspension. Very easy mix. In terms of flavor, I like this much better than the chocolate. The flavor actually reminds me of when you were a kid. I don't know whether it was the like pink liquid amoxicillin or whatever that you would get. It kind of looked like pink milk and it was a little bit chalky. As a kid, that was my favorite flavored medicine. I just love that. That's kind of what this tastes like to me. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a great selling point. If you like that flavor, that's what this tastes like. Also, if you don't like that flavor, that's what this tastes like. So yeah, definitely I prefer the peach flavored base over the chocolate. Not sure that it's a product that I necessarily need. As I said, we'll see what my ketone reading is tomorrow morning. Next up, we have the vanilla flavored MCT Oil powder. In terms of macros, we're looking at 7 grams of total fat, all saturated, 2 grams of carbohydrates, less than 1 gram of protein. I have never had MCT oil powder. I'm not sure how it's going to mix with water if it's an oil, but I guess we're about to find out. This is looking like another shaker bottle type of a powder. We got some pretty big clumps, and it's kind of formed a little bit of a paste here along the spoon. All right, a little bit of vigorous stirring there, managed to get it mixed in more or less. It is not a real strong vanilla flavor. And similar to before, I'm getting something that almost tastes a little bit plasticky to me. All right, I'm not a fan of this, and I would not drink it straight up. I'll have to try it in some coffee and let you know what my thoughts are then, but I would not mix this just with water. This was not a win for me. Lastly, we have the Keto Whey chocolate flavor. Now, for whey protein, historically my go-to has been Optimum Nutrition. So let's compare the macros between the two of these. The Perfect Keto whey protein has 110 calories per serving, 4 grams of total fat, all saturated, 3 grams of total carbohydrates, 15 grams of protein per serving. Optimum Nutrition has 120 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 1 gram is saturated, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 24 grams of protein. So you're getting 9 more grams of protein in this, same amount of carbohydrates. However, you are getting the MCT oil in this. So from that standpoint, perhaps more of a keto product. Now, I know better than to try and mix whey powder with a spoon, so we're going to use a shaker bottle. Now, I'm pretty familiar with how Optimum Nutrition tastes, so I probably don't need to do a side-by-side on these. This is pretty good. I would say flavor-wise, very comparable to the Optimum Nutrition. I think in terms of sweetness, it's kind of right where I like it, just barely any. It's not bitter at all. There's no sort of aftertaste that's off-putting. In terms of a delivery mechanism for powdered MCT, I far prefer this to this. Yeah, this is a solid whey protein drink, in my opinion. So I'll be able to give a full summary later on in terms of the effects of the Keto Nootropic, as well as the 2 base products. and I'll even try this out tomorrow morning in some coffee. The one thing I know for sure, I like this as far as a protein goes. So, see you tomorrow morning. So on the left, we have our vanilla MCT oil. And again, this is not mixing all that great. This may be a blender sort of a coffee. All right, enough of this. This is going in the blender. Much better. And on the right, we'll try out the Nootropics. That spoon mixed quite a bit better. Now I've added nothing extra to this coffee, no sweetener or anything. Here's the MCT oil. The MCT oil is vanilla, yet when added to the coffee, this almost tastes like a cross between coffee and hot chocolate to me. And with no additional sweetener or heavy cream or anything, I like this. This coffee experiment has changed my tune on the vanilla MCT powder. So if you're looking to add some MCT powder to your coffee, I'm gonna say yes on this. If you think you're gonna mix it with water, I'm gonna warn you away from that. That was not a good experience. Now, in terms of the nootropic, first off, let's talk about the experience. When I see people market any sort of nootropic product as like the limitless pill, I find those claims a little bit dubious. I have tried nootropics in the past, including all the various, racetams like piracetam, aniracetam, there's a bunch of them. And never did I get the limitless experience. I got an increased sort of focus and attention and found that sometimes even colors seemed a little bit more vivid to me, but certainly not the limitless pill. And the experience that I got from the Perfect Keto Nootropic formula was also not the limitless pill, but I didn't expect that, and they don't claim that to be. What I did find is that I went from feeling pretty lethargic yesterday to really having the focus and attention that I was able to pound through a couple of videos, video editing, and some website work, and the time just flew by. So I don't think that was a placebo effect. I think I was really getting something out of it. The thing I didn't care very much for was the taste, and now we're gonna see how it mixes with coffee. So I'm not getting that sort of plasticky taste or any of that sort of bitter cherry taste anymore. I would say there's a mild chocolatey taste to the coffee. It's good. I think I like the vanilla MCT better in the coffee, but certainly putting this in the coffee covers up any of the sort of off tastes that I experienced. So I'm gonna say that I feel good about both the nootropic formula and the MCT formula. One of the things that I promised I would loop back with you on was the effects of the keto base or the exogenous ketones. Took my blood glucose readings yesterday morning and ketone readings, and again this morning. Blood glucose went from 85 to 83, so that's probably still just within the margin of error, didn't really move. My ketones went from 1.4 to 1.2, so they did not go up. Again, that's still probably, within the daily fluctuation that I normally see depending on what I eat. So I'm gonna have to hold off on recommending those, at least for now. In January, we're planning a family trip for 2 weeks, and the likelihood that I'm gonna be able to stay in keto that whole time is pretty slim. So I expect I'm gonna be knocked out of keto then, and perhaps at that point, that would be a good time for me to try out the keto base and see how rapidly it puts me back into a state of ketosis. But for right now, I promised you that you're gonna get an honest review. I can't endorse those products. Another little word of warning, if you're ever trying to do a review where you're testing a bunch of products that all have MCT oil in it, maybe spread that out over a couple of days. I think I put way too much MCT oil into myself way too fast, and for those of you who are familiar with that experience, that means I made about 5 trips to the bathroom in the subsequent hour and a half after filming that video. Yeah, so don't do that.
But what you can do is, if you are interested in any of these products, use the link in the description below. That will get you 15% off your purchase. And if you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when I release a new video, click the bell while you're at it. Thanks for watching.